Today in the battle arena, we got Joe Fixit, the Grey Hulk, going up against Pitt from Image Comics. So who's coming out on top here? Let's break it down. After being bombarded with a massive dose of gamma radiation while saving a young man's life during testing an experimental bomb, the Robert Bruce Banner was transformed into the Incredible Hulk, a green behemoth who is the living personification of rage and pure physical strength. But today, we're not just going to be using any version of the Hulk, but good old Joe Fixit, the Grey Hulk. Joe Fixit is the fragmented personality of Bruce Banner, formed most notably in his college years. He represents primarily the emotions that Bruce Banner is ashamed of, such as lust, greed, and jealousy. Joe Fixit is just a version of the Hulk, so obviously his main asset in any fight is his incredible superhuman strength. He sent Iron Man flying with a punch, manhandled Doc Samson, destroyed buildings with just a little knuckle tap, and fought against an amped version of the Thing. He's punched away Absorbing Man, fought against Abomination, knocked around Super Skrull, and so much more. In fact, according to the Thing, Grey Hulk is almost as strong as the normal Hulk. He's also durable enough to take hits from Abomination. He's been punched into space by an amped version of Spider-Man. He's even taken blasts from Iron Man, from the High Evolutionary. Simply walked through an optic blast from Cyclops. What really sets Joe Fixit apart from the normal Hulk is his intelligence. He said before that it was like a cloud that's been lifted from his mind. He'll actually use strategy in fights. For instance, Hulk used the fact that he cannot tire and has superior mobility in order to beat the Thing, who is stronger than him at the moment. So, as we got one corner, the Grey Hulk, good old J. Jaws, Joe Fixit himself. But, entering the ring, in the corner, in the Image Comics universe, well, it's Pitt. Taken from his mother's womb and spliced with alien DNA, Pitt is a half-human, half-Creed warrior who protects both his twin brother Tommy and Earth from the Creed. Pitt is easily superhumanly strong. With the exact limits of his strength that have yet to be measured, he's able to break through thick alien chains, lift massive boulders, and he's even been able to overpower and kill an alternate universe version of Invincible, and fight toe-to-toe against the superhero supreme. In addition to his superhuman strength, Pitt has also got some massive razor-sharp claws. Routinely uses them to absolutely shred apart enemies and slaughter them. Finally, Pitt is also superhumanly durable. He routinely take punches from superhumans and brush them off. Uzis and shotgun blast point blank to the face to make him bleed, but little else. And he's taken explosions fairly well throughout his entire superheroing career. Pitt even has a regenerative healing factor. A healing factor great enough to allow him to shrug off blows to mystical acts, and even come back from the dead as a newborn. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, clearly Pitt was based upon the Hulk when he first came about during the initial Image Comics explosion back in the 90s. But the original Green Goliath is just a bit too powerful to make this a fair or interesting fight. So today, we're throwing him up against the Grey Hulk, Joe Fixit. So who's coming out on top here? Let's find out. And first things first, definitely you talk about strength and physicality. I mean, that's what this fight is really going to come down to. A knock-em, sock-em, drag-out fight between two bruising powerhouses. So how strong is Joe? Well, he's just able to absolutely crush and destroy large boulders, heavy machinery. That much is clear. But he's also knocked over buildings, lifted up a huge pyramid, and even though they did make note that he was weaker than usual, but Spider-Man and the Thing commented on how Joe was almost as strong as the regular Savage Hulk. And I mean, I think the Thing would know. Hulk and Thing have fought plenty of times. They're the quintessential brick battle over in Marvel. On top of that, he's still fought against some of the strongest people over in Marvel, battling against Abomination, the Thing in a mutated form, or Pineapple Thing, Super Skrull, Doc Samson, Absorbing Man, Wolverine, and Wonder Man, the entire West Coast Avengers. though a lot of those guys have given the regular Hulk a good fight in the past. So Grey Hulk might be weaker than normal, but he's by no means weak. But flip the script, how strong is Pitt? Well, just like the Hulk, Pitt's capable of smashing cars, ripping up the ground, just obliterating massive monsters. He's torn apart high-tech power armor. He's dominated fights against his brother and his father, who are also superhumanly strong. And he's even smashed apart the head of an alternate universe Invincible. And unlike Joe Fixit, Pitt has got those wicked, razor-sharp claws on him. Pitt has never really met anyone who can stand up to these claws, and he's used them to routinely shred apart enemies, even massive monsters. And Pitt managed to use these claws to mangle and kill the evil Invincible. Now, granted, the idea that angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets, still applies to Joe Fixit, just at a much slower rate, so Hulk could potentially surpass Pitt. But throughout the majority of this fight, these two are going to be on a very even playing field when it comes to strength. But what about durability? Well, like any Hulk, Fixit is one tough SOB, standing up to attacks from the X-Men. He stood strong against a charge from Iron Man, and he's taking punches with Abomination and the Amped Thing. A Unipower or Captain Universe enhanced Spider-Man one time punched the Hulk into orbit, and another time an asteroid twice the size of Earth was hurtling towards the planet. So they loaded Hulk up in a gun and shot him out like a bullet, destroying the asteroid with just one hit. Joe Fixit is crazy tough. And then when it comes to Pitt's claws, well, I'd like to introduce you to Wolverine. Him and Fixit have clashed a few times before. And one time, Wolverine just dove in, went all out, sliced and diced, and actually completely ran through and gutted Hulk. Hulk just popped right back up a few months later and said, let's try that again. Now, granted, it's not a complete apples-to-apples comparison, seeing as how Wolverine's claws are sharper and tougher, being made of adamantium, while Pitt's claws are larger, have the strength of Pitt behind them, but it does show that Hulk can quickly heal from these kinds of attacks. Of course, also shows that Pitt can injure Hulk with his claws. But what about Pitt's durability? Well, here's the first thing you gotta know about Pitt. His skin is the least durable part of his body, but the muscles and bones underneath the skin are superhumanly tough. So it might not necessarily take a whole lot to cut his skin, make him bleed a little bit, even bullets can do this, but it actually takes a whole lot to do any lasting pain to him, put him down for good. While he was just a young newborn, he was capable of taking blaster fire that would dismember most foes. He's taken blasts that could pierce through the hull of a battleship. Most of the time, advanced weaponry of any sort just tends to make him angry. He's taken punches that sent him flying several hundred feet away, and was just angry afterwards. And Pitt has kind of pulled off the same feat as the Hulk, being launched out like a bullet into outer space. And just like with Hulk, where the angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets, well, pain has always amped Pitt up. And for all intents and purposes, his rate of gain should match Joe's. Now, with all that being said, there are two last things that I want to mention. Two kind of trump cards for Pitt. First off, Supreme. Supreme is kind of like Superman over in Image Comics, as he's fought against gods like Thor, fought against Omni-Man, and he's even fought against Gladiator from over in the Marvel Universe, with Gladiator saying their fight would have destroyed whole worlds if he hadn't faked his own death. Yet Pitt went tit for tat with Supreme for a good bit, proved capable of drawing blood from him, then played possum in a bid to separate Supreme from the Hammer. Then there's the elephant in the room. Pitt has actually fought against the Hulk before. Not the Grey Hulk, but Green. Now, granted, this isn't canon for the 616 Hulk, but the story was written by Peter David, a very well-known Hulk author, and Pitt's creator, David Keown, who had previously teamed up with David to do some pretty legendary work on the Incredible Hulk. So we have two people here that are intimately familiar with the Hulk, who pinned this Hulk Pitt fight. It was an even back and forth fight throughout, with it ultimately ending in a stalemate due to the battle being broken up. So who's coming out on top here? Well, I think it's gotta be Pitt. I definitely don't think he can beat the normal Hulk. Hulk is just a bit too much for him, but Joe Fixit is a different story. Pitt's going to be able to do more damage with a combination of his strength and his claws. He's durable enough to take anything that Fixit can dish out, and he's just fought against superior opponents in the past, namely Supreme and Hulk. So yeah, Pitt's coming out on top in this one. Pitt wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign out down in the comments down below. Also be sure, the like button, subscribe button, turn notification from the DanCo army, and I will see you all next time.